to the Triple B podcast. Let's fucking go.
Welcome back to the Triple B podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. I'm Ryan.
I'm Tim.
And this is a show where we drink on a delightful bourbon and or cocktail, as it is so this week. We talk about wrestling.
Yeah, we do.
And we talk about blockbusters, movies, shows, things that are coming out. We could even do video games if we ever wanted to. We haven't done that yet, but I just am talking out of my ass right now. So, but yeah, episode 17. We're rolling, man.
We're moving right along.
It's good shit. We are going to jump right in. We got a packed episode. So our cocktail of the week this week. It's cocktail week. This was Timmy's idea to do this week, and I was very excited for it.
Yeah, we got the Bourbon Mule.
Hex to the, Bourbon Mule. What it is, very, one of the most simple cocktails, actually, that we've made on here. There's no stirring. There's no shaky. Sorry. I know everybody loves when I shaky, but it's really easy. You literally just mix it in a copper mug. It's 2 ounces of bourbon, half ounce of lime juice, topped with ginger beer, and then add a lime wedge for garnish.
Heck yeah, man. We're using the Noble Oak bourbon that we had last week. We both rated it like a 7, I wanted to say. Pretty.
Yeah. It was a 7. Yeah, it was really just totally fine. Not bad, not the best we've had, but It's definitely drinkable. And excited to test it out in a new cocktail this week. So, super simple.
We got our socials, Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok at TripBPod. And then we're located on Spotify, Apple, Amazon at Triple B Podcast, Bourbon, Belts, and Blockbusters. And if you want to hit us in an email, we got triplebpod619 at gmail.com.
Send us anything you want outside of... Never mind. So we're going to jump into our cocktail of the week here, the Bourbon Mule.
Let's do it, man.
Let's get our... Cheersy, drinky.
Oh, yeah, man.
Fuck, that's delightful.
That's so
really
simple.
Good. So simple. Tasty. I love ginger beer. Mm-hmm. I was telling you about the one specific ginger beer that we used to use when I was bartending. And I would love, because where I was over in Cle Elum,
Yeah.
At the cottage, mules weren't ordered that often. And also at that time, this was 10 years ago almost now, mm-hmm. It was a lot newer of a drink, mm-hmm. right? So it's people weren't really ordering them that often. So when they would get ordered, I would be like, fuck yeah, because then I was drinking the rest of the ginger beer because I fucking love it. It's so good. It's just like a fancy ass ginger ale.
Yeah. And I like the spiciness.
I love it. Yeah. It's so good. But yeah, man. What are you going with? What are you giving it?
Dude, I'm giving it a 9.5.
Okay.
I love a mule, and I actually prefer the I think they call it a Kentucky mule or a bourbon mule.
Yeah.
And I like it more than the Moscow Mule, and so 9.5. I just love it. It's simple, refreshing, easy to drink.
Yeah, I was going 8.5. Also high up there. It's funny because I love ginger beer. Obviously, I love bourbon. Typically, when I come to cocktails, bourbon cocktails specifically, I tend to lean more towards no mixer, if that makes sense. It's more of just bourbon mixed with simple bitters, maybe an herb or something like that is typically what I like the most. The mint julep is probably my favorite bourbon cocktail outside of an old fashioned. So yeah, but this is delicious. I love this. I could see myself ordering this. I've never really ordered a mule at a bar either.
Oh, when the Moscow Mule craze came across, I was ordering them all the time.
See, and I hate vodka with a passion, so I didn't really care for them. But with whiskey. Whiskey makes everything better.
Yeah, it does, man.
So yeah, man.
Well, dude, let's talk about our setup here and your shirt, dude. I mean, we got a fucking to scale cage here, right?
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
yeah.
this thing is sick. You can even put things under the ring.
Yeah, dude.
That
it's
was one of the
fully
coolest
accessible. It's legit. My birthday was 2 days ago, and obviously my wife is pretty damn wonderful, and this was one of the things that she got for us to set up and use on the podcast, because she knows we like to stage the stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, to scale.
The turnbuckles are actually turnbuckles.
Legit. I spent probably 45 minutes earlier putting this whole thing together, and the ring itself was super easy. Putting the ropes on, that was a bitch. Because it's literally just turnbuckle, the hooks, right? The turnbuckles connect to the post and then connect to the actual pad, and the rope folds. It just sits inside the pad, and then the pad folds over, and then there's two little rings, and then the hook goes through that, but nothing's clipping.
Yeah.
It's just hooked. So when there's not tension, it's just loose and shit just falls off. So I'd get one on and I'd set it there hanging, and then I'd be working on the other one, and then this one would fall off, and I was like, motherfucker. But it was well worth it, because look at it, man.
You can reenact the Braun Strowman, Bronson Reed moment and knock off a turnbuckle, and it would happen.
If I were to actually play with this like I used to back in the day, the ropes I would have to pinch the little hooks closed.
Yeah.
Because the ropes would not stay on. Because I would do a heavy throw into the corner on somebody, and all of the ropes would just fly off.
But
that's how to a point authentic it is, outside of them screwing in how the actual ring does.
And it even has a mat. In the ring.
Yeah.
That's how legit this thing is.
Yes. Yes, it is an actual slightly padded mat on the inside. It's pretty cool. And the posts are metal. Yeah, it's pretty fucking awesome. I'm pretty happy with it. I got the new Bret Hart the other day as well. Walmart in Covington, shout out. Yeah, dude. So just rocking all the new stuff.
And the shirt. Yeah,
talk about
the shirt.
I had to put Bubba Ray out there. Had to Dudley boy it up. Yeah, man. It's these shirts are awesome. It's from the actual WWE shop.com. This is called the ProSphere brand. Okay. And it's it's 100% polyester, so it's kind of like a dry fit material. And that's what I wear 99% of the time, outside of most of the shirts I've been wearing on the show recently are just the cotton graphic tees. But I hate cotton t-shirts. I've only worn them specifically for filming the podcast. But I found these and I was like, I'm going to try this.
Yeah, man.
And I told Lindsay, I was like, hey, I'm looking at a couple of these shirts. And then she got me this one, which she just knows me so well because this is the one that I fucking wanted. And so, yeah, dude, it's fucking awesome. It's super comfortable. I just ordered another shirt off of the shop that I'm going to be rocking whenever we film. It'll be either before, maybe the one after, depending on what we decide we're going to do for around Halloween.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be around then. So I have a shirt to wear that will hopefully be a solid surprise for you. And then they have an LA Knight one that is fucking dope. It's you know how this one is it almost looks like it's a vest and you're wearing a shirt under, right?
Yeah.
The LA Knight one actually is has the actual look of a vest, a legit open vest, what he wears. And then it's a yellow shirt and it says in I think red, "Let me talk to you."
Oh, nice.
I was like, that's fucking dope. It's I have that one in my cart ready to roll. They got a DX one. They got a Bray Wyatt one that looks so it's a Fiend. The Fiend Bray Wyatt one that looks so fucking sick. There's the Final Boss Rock one with it's the electric blue that is Titantron video that he turned it to when he came back. Fuck, man, there's a couple NWO ones and they're all in this same fabric, and I was like, I'm going to be spending a lot of money over the
probably take his money.
Yeah, because they're comfortable fucking shirt. Like, I would wear this shit to school.
Yeah,
because it's comfortable. You know, like I would die in a fucking cotton t-shirt if I was teaching at school. I would be in a flop sweat the entire day. This is comfy, and yeah, man, I'm stoked for it. It's awesome. It was a good birthday. I also got a bunch of hunting shit. Nice. Her dad hooked me up, got me a bunch of clothes for hunting. I'm going hunting for my first time in like a week and a half. So
now you're gonna miss Wrestle Dream.
I know, it's a bummer,
man,
but
it's your first time hunting. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. It was solid all around, man.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
WWE, hook us up, man.
Yeah, I know.
We talk about you. Sponsor us
every week. You don't even have, like, you don't have to just send me shirts. Just send me these. I'll be happy. I don't even care. Like, these would be good enough for me. But anyways, man, yeah, let's get into it. We got football. We're talking football still.
Hell yeah,
we're like into week 4 now, but obviously those, other than the Thursday night game, those games don't happen till tomorrow. So we're talking week 3 last week. Seahawks 3-0, baby.
3-0.
3-0. We beat the Dolphins. Like, it wasn't even a close game. Like, it wasn't even remotely close. It was ugly for the Dolphins. 24-3.
But the Hawks needed this.
Absolutely.
In history's past, the Seahawks would play down to a team like this.
Absolutely.
Before, where there was injury riddled, and yet we would still find a way to make it this
super close game. We'd
lose the game most likely.
Yeah.
Before, but this was like a bludgeon, man. It was.
Yeah, dude.
Our pass rush was all over.
Pass rush was everywhere.
Boyle, and
it was great to see fucking Derek Hall get 2 sacks. It was awesome to see him he's starting to come alive.
Yeah.
Right.
Maffei's like.
Yeah, Maffei looks fucking great. He's like, we're week 3. He's already got 3 sacks. Derek Hall has 2 sacks now, I think. Yeah, man. It was all around just good. We had Tyrell Dodson, just with like a fucking A-gap blitz straight up the middle. To sack him, like untouched, just like clean, just up the gut, just a clean sack, which is the one that actually like originally injured Skylar Thompson.
I was waiting for a flag on. I mean, it was a clean hit, but I was just waiting for the flag just because of how hard he got hit.
Yeah, dude. So like that was great to see. Our fucking passing game continued to fucking just cruise. I mean, I love that this made me. My dad and Nathan came over last Sunday to watch the game, and after they hit Metcalf for that fucking like 71-yard touchdown, I was just like, all right, that settles it for me. There's no debate in my mind. If I ever meet Shane Waldron in person, I'm gonna kick him in the dick. Straight up, gonna kick him in the dick just because it's like, what the fuck were you? You are a useless offensive coordinator, and it's showing right now. Like just through the first 3 games, you have a dude that has never coached in the NFL in here calling these plays and utilizing the talent that he has on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That is not something that Shane Waldron did. That's not something that Bevel even did in the latter parts of when he was with us. Like, they're fucking putting Metcalf downfield as arguably he might not be the tallest. There's like 4 or 5 receivers that are an inch taller than he is in the NFL. But he is all around the biggest fucking receiver in the NFL, mixed with being one of the fastest receivers in the NFL. Why the fuck are we not sending the ball deep to him more often? And now it's like we've gotten back-to-back weeks now where they've hit him on deep routes, and it's paying off. So that was awesome.
It was also nice to see the tight ends get used.
Yes,
that's been a missing component of our team's past, and we've had high prolific tight ends.
Yeah,
we just never get them the ball, and we got Noah Fant, who's super talented, and it was nice to see him getting in on the game. So that was
we got fucking
cool.
AJ Barner too from Michigan, a rookie tight end that like he is. For losing Will Dissly, you probably replaced him the best possible way you could have replaced him, because Barner is like a good blocking tight end that can also put up good receiving numbers.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then you have Pharaoh Brown that we got from the Patriots that is also a typically a good blocking tight end that I think is was underutilized and is probably underrated as a pass catcher as well. So we got good tight end group, one of the best receiving groups in the league.
Our running punch at a running back when healthy.
Our running backs are solid, but fuck, dude, I shit on Zach Charbonnet after the Patriots game. Straight up, I was like, he is not a number one back, and I still, honestly, I don't think he is a true number one. But he fucking ran like it last week.
And we got McIntosh on the field.
And we got McIntosh some fucking reps, man. I was stoked. And he would have had probably fucking 30-something yards on 4 rushes had Anthony Bradford not gotten called for the hold on McIntosh's like fucking 17-yard run or whatever.
Yeah.
But he still had, I want to say he had like 13 yards on 3 carries or something, which I mean, that's like a little over 4 yards a carry.
Yeah.
That's still a pretty fucking good average. So, like, no, those numbers don't pop off the screen statistically, but when you break it down, like, you get 4 yards a pop, you're scoring a touchdown on that drive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just, like, you're never going to punt if you're getting 4 yards a pop. So, that was cool. Our rush defense bounced back really well. Also,
I was worried, but we kept them in line.
I mean, obviously, the Dolphins didn't have Tua, so you kind of would have expected them to lean more on their run game, especially with Achane back there.
They really didn't.
They really didn't. Well, because every time they tried to, he fucking got stuffed. Really, like I think he had one like 17-yard run. And other than that,
runs, but yeah,
he only ran for like 30 yards total in the game. So it was like outside of, and it was on like 17 carries. So one of them was like 15, 16, 17-yard run, and then other than that, it was like 16 carries for 13 yards or whatever. Like, that's pretty fucking good considering who he is as a running back.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was cool. Interesting stuff. We're still kind of being written off in a way as a team, even being 3-0 in the NFL. And I know a lot of the pundits talk about, well, who have you guys played? You played the Broncos week 1 with a rookie quarterback at home. And you played the Patriots. Then you played injury-riddled Dolphins.
Still got talent, man.
Well, here's the thing. We're not fucking healthy either. And we haven't been. Outside of, week 1 was the healthiest we've been. But
everyone went down that week.
Yeah, and we were still missing a couple, like, key guys. You know, like, we haven't had our starting right tackle, Abraham, since the middle of last year. We didn't have Uchenna Nwosu, who's our number 1 pass rusher, right? The last, 2 weeks now, we've been down Jerome Baker, Ken Walker. We lost Leonard Williams and Byron Murphy, who are our 2 starting fucking defensive linemen, interior defensive linemen. Yeah. On just right there, we lost 2 other offensive linemen. Like, we're not healthy at all. Our offensive line has been, outside of being injured, has been pretty much shit so far this season, in the passing game at least. In the running game, they've been pretty good, but in the passing game, we have one of the worst statistics when it comes to pass blocking in the league, and people are still just writing us off. So I'm just like, it's kind of annoying because you guys get fucking A, you got to give credit at some point. Yeah. Most of the national pundits in the offseason were pegging us, even after we hired McDonald, were pegging us to win 5 games.
We're almost there.
We're 3-0 right now to start, and the rest of the NFC West is fucking 1-3. So, 1-2.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's, I don't know. It's interesting. I think this coming week's game will definitely show. It's going to be a true test. It's going to be interesting to watch. It should be a good game. I don't think there's any part of me that thinks that it will be a blowout either direction.
No.
I think it's going to be a fucking tight game. It's going to be
Detroit hard. We always play each other.
Detroit's always a fucking hard playing team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, since Campbell took over, like his players fucking go to bat for him, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They love him and they put everything out on the field for that guy, which is awesome. I love the Lions. I love Dan Campbell.
We got the bright lights on us. It's a Monday night game.
It is, dude.
And
Prime time.
I'm excited for it. I'm definitely not like 100% confident in a win, but I think it's going to be a close game, and I think we can edge them out. I think we do edge them out.
I do too. I think especially it's going to be interesting to see today's injury report from practice, because that's really going to, because like a bunch of the guys that we just mentioned, who like Ken Walker, Chenan Nwosu, Boye Mafe, a handful of other guys all sat out like almost every practice so far this week. Most of them sat out all of them. But if any of them were to get time on playing, like practicing today, they're playing on Monday.
I got an update that said Kenneth Walker's probable for Monday. So,
oh, okay, perfect. So he's playing.
So we got a probable.
Very rarely do you get a probable designation and they don't play.
Yeah.
Very rarely. So unless there's like a pre-game warm-up setback.
Yeah.
Right, that's like the only time. Did you say anything about Chenna?
I didn't see anything else. That was just
a highlight. That'll be like probably the biggest interesting thing, is just to see as to fully how I'm going to feel about it. I know Byron Murphy's out, like almost guaranteed. Leonard Williams is an interesting thing because it's a rib injury. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that necessarily means. Did he come back
into the game? No,
he never came back.
Gotcha.
No, we lost him and Byron Murphy in the first half of that game. But yeah, so I feel good, honestly, about it. I feel confident. I think we, at full strength, we have more talent from top to bottom, I think, across the entire thing, outside of the offensive line, because they have one of the best offensive lines in the league. But I think at full strength, we have one of the best defensive lines in the league. And like I said already, with the our offense outside of the line should be a fucking top 5 unit, realistically. Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be definitely interesting to see. I'm excited for the game on Monday.
Yeah, me too.
Prime time.
The Titans are 0-3, man. 0-3.
I know. I wasn't gonna. I was waiting for you to bring it up. I wasn't gonna bring it up until you brought it up. I didn't want to. Kick you while you're down.
It's a little depressing.
Yeah, but, it's.
I didn't have high
been
hopes,
rough,
but it's been rough losses.
Well, it's even more rough watching Malik Willis now, like, bring the Packers to like back-to-back wins.
Yep, and we just traded him away.
Yeah,
for nothing too. So
yeah, like a fucking, was it like a 7th round draft pick or some shit? So. Like maybe like
it was a low one.
Yeah, it was practically nothing. So,
and the sad thing is we had a good lead in most of those games, like a sizable lead, and then didn't do anything with it. So
yeah.
Anywho, on to our Triple B wellness journey chat. Yeah, man. Where are you at,
dude? I'm doing pretty good, actually. I weighed in this morning. I'm 234.5.
Okay.
So that is 3 pounds down from where I was last time.
Sweet.
And it's like just under. It's like an ounce under 7 total pounds lost. So I started out at 241.4, 234.5, right? Nice. So just under 7. I was able to actually, like, these last 2 weeks, really, especially this last week, really get back into kind of my normal flow of stuff. And I think it's going to be good moving forward because I'm playing pickleball on Wednesday mornings at the school. My school started like these wellness activities in the morning that a couple of my coworkers were running. Mm-hmm. And so like Sarah's running pickleball in the mornings on Wednesday at 5:45. So I'm like going in and playing a little over an hour at pickleball in the morning. And like, that's a fucking workout. Like when you're actually full blown playing, it's a fucking workout. Like I was drenched. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking do this. Cause that was like easy on my body too.
Yeah.
Got back to 9 round twice this week. And then my fucking alarm didn't go off on Friday. I don't know why, but on Fridays I'll be rock climbing again too in the morning. So going to be getting back, doing some stuff. My food stuff's been portion-wise has been good. I've eaten a handful of things throughout this last week, especially like it being my birthday and stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of, allowed myself a little bit of a break there on certain things, but it didn't like throw me off at all, which was nice. And just like portions and like my lunches and everything have been like mainly plant-based, veggies, snacks, just like light stuff. And I've been feeling good about it. So
perfect.
Yeah, dude. What about you?
I'm down 2.2 pounds.
Fuck yeah.
Total 7.7.
Hell yeah.
Feeling really good. Essentially a pound a week lost since the last weigh-in, and been getting to the gym. I went today, went yesterday. Still just, I need to bring a gym bag with me to work so that I don't come home and then go out.
And then try. Yeah.
Because
it's so hard.
It's so hard to leave. I'll find more work to do or something around the house to do versus go back to the gym. So that's what I've been having a challenge with. So I'm going to start packing a gym bag and just going directly right after work. This past week was a little busy. At work, we got like some holiday walks, pre-holiday walks going on and getting prepared for that. But this week, that's the plan, is just bring the gym bag. Food-wise, I've been making good decisions, but I still have yearnings for the fat kid food. And,
Oh yeah.
I had pizza last night, and that's where I struggle. The second pizza hits the lips, I can't stop. It's so good once it hits the lips. But other than that, the portion control has been really good. Just been making smart decisions for lunches, and I'm feeling good. Feeling a lot better. The 2 gym workouts I did these past 2 days were probably the best I've felt since doing it. So, hell yeah, man. Showing losses each week.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Like we said before, it's small steps. We're moving in the right direction every time we've done this. We haven't gone up or even just stayed flat. Each time we've lost something. Yeah. So, and we're feeling good.
Exactly.
So fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
Us to belts. We got a fucking hell of a week to talk about.
Dude,
it was a really good banger of a week. It was a really good week for WWE. Yeah, Raw this last Monday. Show opened with Judgment Day's Liv them. Thank you. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio coming out. Just the two of them. Talking up their talk, doing what they always do on the mic.
Almost like a celebration lap for nothing.
Yeah, really. Like, that's what they called it, too. Yeah, it was like a celebration just because they've beat up and attacked and jumped the Terror Twins each week for the last month.
Yeah.
But yeah, so out comes Rhea. They're talking. Liv's like, "Oh, are you out here to tell us that your knee's too injured, that you're not going to be able to compete at Bad Blood?" And Rhea said, pretty much no, the exact opposite. I'm actually fully cleared.
Yeah.
And then their kind of back and forth led to Rhea letting them both know that there has been a stipulation added to the women's world title match at Bad Blood. And that is that Dominic Mysterio will be inside a shark tank that I believe is suspended above the ring. Am I correct about that?
It might be above the entranceway.
Oh, above the entranceway?
The ramp. But maybe above the ring.
But regardless, he's going to be behind bars once again, and he was none too pleased about that.
I love how he's like, I can't go back. I can't go back.
It's fucking. He's great. It's awesome.
Is so good.
Yeah. But yeah, so we got another solid. Interesting, I guess, stipulation, because it's really the only thing that's keeping from happening is him interfering in the match. Then, which is great because that was the whole point of it. Is he's interfered in every women's world title match since Rhea had to give it up.
I still worry about the other lackeys, but they haven't really interfered on behalf of Liv. It's always been Dominic. So
yeah, true.
So it'll be interesting to see if it legitimately is a one-on-one match.
I doubt it. They're gonna somehow, the other goons are gonna come out. They're gonna get Dom out somehow. Yeah. Priest is gonna come out. Like things are gonna happen. I'm sure, but
Liv tosses up the keys to him. And
something,
gets out. We got Sami Zayn facing off against Ludwig, and dude, this match, they hit hard.
They did, man.
It was another banger match, toasted match, whatever you want to call it. They were cooking inside the ring.
Absolutely.
Dude, the freaking enziguri from Ludwig to stop the haluva kick, I was just like,
was fucking brutal. It was so perfectly timed.
It was. I was just like, oh, dude, he's
Sami Zayn is gold in the ring, though, man.
He really is, and just since he won the Intercontinental, he's been cooking on all cylinders.
Yeah, absolutely going out.
We got a German suplex out of the Ludwig's finish and to a haluva kick. Sami gets the win, and then Gunther comes out immediately, and dude, he played with my feelings. He was like, we're going to go right now.
I know. I was like, fuck yeah, all right, let's go.
He said, no more playing games. We're going to do this here in Ontario, California. And then he said no again.
Yeah.
And keeps declining.
He blue-balled us once again. Dude, got us thinking it was going to happen, and then, yeah, man.
When is he going to say yes? It's got to be some big blow-up next week. Well,
yeah, it has to happen next week, because it's going to happen the match has to be a bad blood.
Right? It's got to happen.
It has to. So, yeah, we're going to have something. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to, like, maybe Sami, like, fucking attacks Gunther.
Yeah.
Like, that would be awesome. And it leaves him with no choice but to fucking have to fight him. But we don't know, so we'll be tuning in on Raw in 2 days to find out what the heck was going on after the Seahawks beat the Lions, of course.
Yeah, man.
We also, before Liv Dom even came out to the ring, as they rolled in a fucking lowrider, doing the hydraulics, doing the bouncing, just, paying homage to the late, great Eddie Guerrero. And as Dom and Liv are starting to walk into the arena from where they parked the car, all of a sudden we get Meat Fest continuing to spill out into everywhere. Just everywhere. But you get Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed just going at it again in the back.
Everywhere.
Just fucking everywhere, right? Just fucking going at it. But yeah, this essentially just leads to Adam Pearce. Fuck. I almost said Nick Aldis. Adam Pearce stating that there's this needs to end, and it's going to end next week on Raw in a last monster standing match.
The last Meat Masher match.
Yeah, the last Meat Masher, Meat Festing, Meatropolis standing. So,
dude, the promos for that they played after this, like the Godzilla looking promo, was sick. Dude.
Yeah, it was fucking dope.
I was like, they're really going in on this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It got a big fight feel to it, and yeah, the way they beat the security guards in the ring before this was announced was just insane. The stacked tsunami.
I know.
Freaking Strowman just double choke slam.
Double choke slam. It was cool because it was like they kept going at each other, but then they'd get separated, and then they'd both start doing equivalent things to the security guards.
Yeah,
and it was like watching the Brothers of Destruction fuck up the Alliance.
Yes,
right. It was like them going at it, but then they'd attack each other once they got rid of everybody else. It was a cool sequence.
Crazy to see Strowman Bronson retreat after almost getting superplexed. I was like, they're gonna destroy the ring.
Yeah. Well, and then I thought he really retreated once Strowman got up on the top fucking rope.
Yeah.
He was gonna fucking monster splash onto everybody, and Braun Strowman was like, "What the fuck?" And he backed up the
Strowman
ramp.
was flying like he flew off the barricade.
Yeah.
Dude can fly.
I know, it's crazy. Like we've said it every week since this has been happening. Those two dudes are doing things that those two dudes should not be able to do. It's really impressive.
I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, man.
All right, we get New Day drama continuing. We got Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston. Kofi basically takes Xavier's side and is like, dude, you're right. I'm going to let you call the shots. He's bringing all this old memorabilia, bootios and the trombone. And Xavier's like, we don't need that stuff. We need to just focus and get some wins. We got to win the tag titles before we can get back to our old ways.
I liked how he stated that too, was that like all of that stuff worked and it was good when we were on top, but we haven't been on top in 3 years.
Yeah.
So like we can't just pull all that stuff back out when we're where we are. Yeah. We got to get back to that point. I like that because it's like it's funny because it would be really easy on the surface level over everything that's been going on over the last fucking 2 months or however long this has been really building. Is like it would be really easy to just kind of like write it off as Xavier Woods is kind of being a diva about everything. But like everything he's saying, it's like. No, he's fucking right. Like, it actually makes sense. Like everything you're like, I completely understand where his frustrations would be coming from and everything. So
exactly, I love how the pancakes were coming, and he's like, that was, the little humor there was awesome.
It was great. He's like, and Xavier was like, what? He's like, oh, nothing. No, you're good.
They had a match. They lost to American Made, and then we get Xavier getting hot against Rey Mysterio, who's just trying to apologize for getting in the match, and he's like, "Get us another tag title shot, then we'll be even," kind of stuff. And this is where he felt like he was being a diva. Just again, excited to see where this goes, but I almost feel like we're gonna get the opposite of what. I don't know what you're thinking is going to happen, but I almost feel like Kofi's going to go heel and turn on Xavier after everything's said and done. It all looks like Xavier is going to be the one.
Yeah.
But
because it was interesting the way this match ended against American Made too, because this time it was Xavier. It was Xavier Woods that lost focus. Mm-hmm. He went after Gable. He threw Gable into the ring and started attacking Chad Gable, and just like furiously, dude. Like he was unleashing all of the anger that is built through all of the carrying cross stuff, through the loss in the championship match last week, all of the Kofi making decisions without him knowing, like all of that stuff. Just fucking unleashed and started unloading on Gable, but Gable's not even in the match.
Yeah.
Gable has nothing, like literally nothing to do with the outcome of this match. So you're attacking this dude, he completely lost focus, and then that's what led to him losing. It wasn't anyone else interfering. It wasn't Kofi being off track here. Mm-hmm. It was all Xavier this week. So it will be very interesting to kind of see how it does play out. But I could totally. That would be quite a swerve for them to do.
I think it would.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to see the New Day break up. I think we have too many tag teams breaking up and everything, and they don't have enough on the roster, I think. So
yeah, I agree.
So
and it's like I also don't know. You already did the singles push with Kofi years back. I don't know that you'd be able to get a fan base behind him in that same way because of how it was done before. And I don't know that Xavier Woods would, unfortunately, really ever be taken realistically in that.
Well, maybe for an Intercontinental title or something.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But to your point, then it's like, just fucking keep them as a tag team and let them actually just get the gold again and build feuds there. Like don't dismantle your tag team.
Because at this point, they're probably the longest standing tag team ever. It's almost their 10-year anniversary, I want to say, or more.
Yeah.
I know their anniversary of forming is coming up in November or something. So
they probably are one of the longest ever running tag teams.
Because they haven't split up at all since forming.
Yeah, no, that is a good point. That would be something that we should actually look into. Next up, we got a kind of a rebuttal of a promo from Drew McIntyre going off of CM Punk's last week. It was in a very same vein, it was filmed almost identical all the way to ending like face in the camera in the corner of the ring, and then mic drop and walking out. But I mean, it was really just responding to "See You in Hell," right, from CM Punk the week before. He says, "I'm gonna make you bleed more than you've ever bled." Like, I mean, he was just really like adding to the levels of just how personal this fucking feud is becoming. Not even becoming, how it is so personal, and it's just becoming more and more and more so each passing day. So
it was dark, man. It definitely. I again like the solo promo going on, giving each chance to build off. And what I really liked, my favorite part of it was, it's funny you called yourself the devil. This has always been about good versus evil, and he's referring to himself as good, like he's the good guy, and this whole thing, which is it's a funny point, but I really like that line, and then just how personal he's making, like, your family doesn't want you to do this match, my family doesn't want me to do this match, but we're going to hell, and I'm gonna break you permanently, is what he said, and him saying he's going to make him bleed is pretty crazy for WWE, like, from how far away they've moved away from blood and everything.
But it's been coming back.
It has.
It has been coming back for sure.
This feud calls for it. Like, like it used,
absolutely.
So
like the end of this Hell in the Cell match needs to be pure exhaustion, both profusely bleeding. Like, I'm talking Ric Flair, Stone Cold and the Sharpshooter type of profusely bleeding, and it needs to be whoever wins hits whatever they hit, and it's just like a classic Shawn Michaels hits a super kick and out of exhaustion just falls backwards and gets the pin. Yeah, that's like the ending that I'm envisioning in this match.
This definitely feels like it's culminating at the Hell in a Cell. Like, it doesn't feel like there's going to be another step from the way that they're building it. It's been awesome, and I think this is the culmination.
And I don't know how you could really get much bigger than that, right? I mean, Hell in a Cell, that's the biggest stipulation match that there is outside of Elimination Chamber, which isn't a one-on-one match, right? So, I agree 100%. I see this concluding and then them, going new storylines from there. I don't want it to happen, but I would be curious to see if Seth Rollins comes into play at all in this.
Or Wade Barrett.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
both.
Maybe both.
Who knows?
That brings us to Damage Control defeating Unholy Union. This match was a lot better than their first go-around, and my initial thoughts were just, why didn't we have this result when we were setting up the tag team title match a few weeks ago? It's almost, we could have skipped over a few things that happened, and I know we didn't think too big of the tag title match with Unholy Union versus Jade and Bianca the last time. So but the match ended up being really good. I thought it was
definitely a solid match.
Really good one. What were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, same. It was, I think in Damage Control, and really, it's like every member. Dakota Kai, maybe not as much as the other three, counting Asuka in it as well, even though we haven't seen Asuka in a while. Like, all three of those women can make people look really good in the ring,
for sure,
and they can fix things. They can like take nothing and turn it into something really good. And so anything that they're in is solid, which just kind of goes back to what you were saying, was like, why did we skip around this? But no, I was super happy that Damage Control won, because it's like Damage Control versus Jade and Bianca is the match, like we've talked about before. That's the match that we want to see. like now I have more confidence now in the women's division of some of the stuff that's happening because of the fact that like you're pushing the right people now.
Yeah.
And, you know, like to give Unholy Union a little credit, like they have gotten better each week.
Yeah, and I think this match was definitely the topping of it.
Yes, I think this was the best match that they have had since we've seen them on the main roster. So they're growing, they're getting better, and that's just good for the business. It's good for the division. But this was definitely the right outcome here. Is Damage Control getting the win, and what I'm assuming should lead to a title match.
Yeah.
So we get the main event.
Main event, damn.
And boy, was it a main event. We get the Intercontinental Championship match between Braun Breaker and main event Jey Uso. God, this got personal real quick too, didn't it?
It really did.
Like, fuck. The last week's Raw, they went back and forth on the mic, which we thought was really good. Because it was just like a new side of Jey that we hadn't really seen before. And it was... I didn't think about it until this match concluded, but it was like his turning point of like, yo, fucking take me serious as a singles wrestler. I'm not just a tag team guy. And the video package leading up to this match referenced that as well. And I had said when the whole Intercontinental title tournament was going on that I was like, I don't know that you get Jey winning the Fatal 4-Way because it's going to pit Braun Breaker, who's like this growing star, with Jey Uso, who is like already a star, but he's trying to get to that next farther.
Step.
Yeah. Never had the singles gold, like all of that, the whole story with it. And then like not even the actual kayfabe story, but just like the business side of things. Like it didn't make sense to me to pit these two against each other in a singles match for the title because you want to protect both of them.
Yeah.
In my mind. But lo and behold, Jey obviously wins the Fatal 4-Way, so now it's like, well, we're getting it. Someone's not getting protected here.
Yeah.
And goddamn, dude, there was not a single part of me that thought Jey was going to win this match. And he fucking did.
And he did.
He did. And it was such an epic ending to the match, too. You know, he hits the spear kind of weakly, hits the spear, hits the splash, kicks out.
Yeah.
Gets hit with some shit, spills out to the outside. He reverses. I think he hit like a super kick or something when Breaker was trying to hit the spear through the barricade. Then he fucking turned it around. He hit the spear and a brutal spear through the barricade too. Like it was very good connection.
Quickly gets him back in the ring.
The fucking ring, hit another spear, and then hit the splash to roll it up. And it was the cover. The second he covered him, the way he covered him, I was like, he's fucking winning.
Yeah.
There's no kick out when somebody covers like this. Like, what the fuck? It was like that exhaustion, pull the legs over and like lean back. Like it was, I was like, no fucking way. And my boy Jey Uso fucking won his first goddamn singles gold, man. Dude, I was stoked.
Few things. Just the IC title feels huge right now, and rightfully so.
Truly does.
But they've been doing it so much justice. Gunther, I think, set it up, but Sammy took it to the next level. Braun is a beast, and then just having this big main event, it felt so big, felt personable, like you were saying. The hype videos leading into it all night long, and then Joe Tessitore, dude, sold. Like his announcing of what was happening at the end had chills on me. It felt like good old JR back in the day.
Yeah,
and so I would put it up there with like the Jeff Hardy winning the title, like how it made me feel.
Yeah, for sure. Because this is, again, it's a guy that's been written off as a tag team guy, never really got the singles push. The only singles push he's really gotten was the match against Roman, which was like already guaranteed he wasn't winning that at that point. And then the only other time he went for the IC against Gunther, and that was also at the same point where it was like, Gunther's not dropping the title right now. He's in the middle of the longest reign ever, right? Like, he's not dropping the title right now, right here. Doesn't make sense. So it was like both matches. It was like, yeah, he got the match, but he also like didn't really, because it wasn't like realistic in any way. Like nobody thought he was winning either of those matches.
Yeah.
You know, so like this, and I said earlier, like I didn't think he was actually going to win it, because it just, to me, I was like, are you really going to have Breakker drop the title here in such a short time? Because it's been not even a month, I don't think, that he's been, maybe a month.
51 days. 51 days is what they said.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess it was SummerSlam. Yeah, it was SummerSlam. So seems like a short reign. So it was like, and he's like one of those like growing guys. So you'd think they'd want to send him on a little bit of a run. But I like the fact that like the IC has changed hands so many times since WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think Braun Breaker comes out of this looking weak at all. Like it was a hard fought match, and it, like you said, I didn't think Jay. I had no part of me thought Jay was winning it, and then it happened, and so I think Braun Breaker got a bright future, and I think he'll be IC champ again soon. But let Jay have his Yeet moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Going over to SmackDown.
Fuck yeah.
Orton opens up the show and just kind of builds off of what we were talking about last week, was Cody teaming up with Roman. Cody comes out and basically just says, hey, you of all people should understand. I've been dealing with this. Roman gave his word on this scenario about he's going to do everything to keep the title. He kept his word. And you wouldn't see him after WrestleMania if he lost, kept his word. And now he says he got my back for this. So I'm going to go with him and trust him and take care of the bloodline. And KO comes out, but before he can speak, the new bloodline comes out and basically says, hey, those guys aren't going to help you because you've already lost to us with them. And you need Roman if you're going to take us on. And so I liked how Solo was driving that wedge between the three, because we can already feel the drama building between the three, which has been nice. This sets up a main event. It's going to be Solo and Jacob Fatu versus KO and Orton. It was crazy though, because like KO is calling the shot, saying it's going to be a tag match, and Cody's like, yeah, man. And then he's like, no, you got your tag match at Blood. It's going to be me and Orton.
Yeah, and it was the way he said it, too. Because Cody was starting to say, like, it doesn't have to just be a normal tag match, because there's 3 of you and there's 3 of us. And KO's like, hold up. No, you have your tag match, and you already have your partner. Like, the way he said it was very spiteful.
Yes.
Like, it was, you already chose, and you chose wrong. We're going to do this.
I loved it. Loved the opening.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Part.
But yeah, so that leads to we have the main event coming up of Jacob and Solo against Orton and KO. But before we get to that, we get a little tiffy time and Queen Champ Nia Jax in the back. Hot damn. If there was ever a moment where you could see the backstabbing just playing out in your mind, it was this moment.
Yes.
Because Nia Jax was very unhappy with the fact that Bayley and Naomi won the match last week and were now going to be facing each other to determine who's going to face her at Bad Blood. She was super unhappy about that. And she pretty much blamed Tiffany Stratton for it, for not being there to help break up the pinfall or whatever. And Tiffany Stratton said, like, I was hurt. I was on the side. Like, I was out of the ring, like, when it happened, blah, blah, blah. And Naomi grabbed her by the fucking throat. Nia. Nia grabbed her by the fucking throat and pretty much told her that if this doesn't work out well for her, it's definitely not going to work out well for Tiffany. And then she let go and kind of calmed herself and went about her way. But as she walked away, I think this was the biggest moment, was as she walked away, Tiffany Stratton went from looking like a scared little sidekick to you saw the change in her eyes and her facial expression. And it was like, oh, she's taking that fucking title.
Shit's about to go down.
She's taking that fucking title. So,
dude, I loved it. I was just like, dude, Nia's fucking evil in this. Like, she's feeling like a monster right now, and I'm loving it. But to your point, the eye turn was the big moment, and I was just like, oh, here it comes.
It was just like a huge character building, character arc moment for Tiffany Stratton, because it was like that was like the moment you watched her go evil. You know what I mean? Like, you just watched her go to the dark side because of, or the light side, depending on what way you're looking at things. But she's definitely not on Nia Jax's side.
Nope.
And I think there's going to be a continued facade, but you definitely saw it on SmackDown.
For sure. Speaking of Nia and who's going to challenge her, next up is Bayley and Naomi in a match. And, dude, the match cooked, and it was pretty good. I'm not a huge Naomi fan, but they tore down the house in their match, and saw it going either way. Bayley wins with an awesome Bayley to belly and elbow drop and gets the win. So that means Bayley is facing off against Nia at Bad Blood for the championship.
Yeah.
I like what you highlighted on this, and I noticed it too.
I was so confused because when Bayley's music first hits, her Titantron video. Is that what they still call it? Titantron video? That's what I'm calling it.
That's what I
Titantron video. I might be aging myself there, Tim. But yeah, the opening sequence of her entire thing still says Damage Control.
Which is because it's not always been that way. It's usually is like, it just says Bayley.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I have not noticed that. Like, this is the first time I've noticed that. And I totally could have just missed it a couple times or whatever if it's happened more recently. But that's the first time I have seen that.
Yeah.
Since she fucking split from Damage Control. So why is Damage Control's graphics still popping up when Bayley comes out? That's super confusing.
Maybe a one-off, or maybe that's an Easter egg. Maybe we'll see a reunion. I don't know.
But anyways, we're getting Bayley versus Nia at Bad Blood. We get Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade 6 for close to the 6th consecutive week. I know there was a week in between where it was just promo before, I think, the 5th match. So this is like 7 weeks in a row of feud here. And it's still fucking just great, man. Before this match actually happened, though, we had a backstage moment where Andrade was making his way to the ring, and he kind of confronted LA Knight backstage, and they were, exchanging verbiage. Carmelo Hayes attacked LA Knight, sent him over one of the table, or it was another one of the case things. Either way, sent him over that, and then pretty much told Andrade, like, come get me, I'll see you in the ring. And then this led to their match, which was another fucking fantastic match.
They just keep stepping up the game.
I know. The only thing that I thought this match was missing was another fucking crazy Spanish fly spot. But Andrade almost died on the last one, so I understand why they did it. Like, legitly almost died. You sent that picture to me after the USA premiere in Seattle.
Yeah.
And we were like, dude, I fucking told you he landed terribly. And he was on the side of his head, and his head was completely fucking sideways. Like, how did you not break your neck? But anyways, I think the match was amazing. Great, like, fucking 5-star match again. They're absolutely just cooking.
I would rank this one as probably my favorite one.
Yeah, I think it would be hard not to, just because it's like they, again, no stipulation in any of these fucking matches. There's been no stipulation. It's just a one-on-one match, and they're making these matches so goddamn good with just the limited stuff that they're being given with these. Like,
yeah. I mean, you're on SmackDown. You're not the main spot on the show.
Yeah,
so they get a limited amount of time, but they are using it all the time just perfectly. And can we talk about that cutter, the like twist into a cutter mid-air off the top rope?
Yeah, that was fucking great. Well, I mean, even earlier before he hit that, he did like the vertical suplex lift into a cutter, which was dope because on 2K, that's actually what I made my character's fucking finisher.
Oh, nice.
And then I was like, what the fuck? He just did it. I was like, that's fucking awesome. I've never seen it before. I'm sure people have hit it before, but yeah, so I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, that off the fucking top rope was just wild.
I thought he had
And then
the
a
win
kick
right
out
there.
from it too.
I know.
I thought that was
it.
it. I was like, holy shit. And then this, and again, this is another one, like we talked about it last week a little bit, that I've had some qualms with the roll up being the finisher.
Mm-hmm.
It happened again. This is how this match ended. Was a roll up. But it fucking made sense the way it happened. So it again,
fit, for sure.
It fit. And this is one where it's like, I'm good with this. If this happened this week, but it hadn't happened for the last month and a half, it'd be like, fuck yeah, that was great. But because it's literally fucking happened like almost every goddamn week on both shows, it's just like, fuck. Like my initial, I was like, they just ended this with a fucking goddamn roll up again. But then it was like, at least it made sense.
Yeah.
Because you get LA Knight coming out and interfering, coming after Carmelo because he attacked him backstage. Carmelo slides into the ring. LA Knight hops up on the apron. Andrade hit Carmelo with a move when he first got into the ring, and then he kind of confronted LA Knight and was like, yo, let me finish this match before you do this. And Carmelo then attacked Andrade from behind, knocked LA Knight off, and then hit the roll up for the finish to even the series at 3. So 3-3 apiece. I think like there's no fucking possible way this doesn't end in a triple threat match for the US title. Like at this point now that LA Knight's like actually involved and like causing Andrade a match now, like he hasn't caused anybody anything yet, right? But now that he's actually caused Andrade the match, I don't see how there's any way out of this but a triple threat match for the US title.
Like Cole's saying there's got to be a match 7. So is there a match 7, or do you think it just leads to the triple threat match?
Both.
Okay.
Match 7 happens, but LA Knight somehow interferes, and it ends in like a no contest.
I like that.
So then it's like 3.5, 3.5.
There we go.
That's what I think, because I feel like it has to end in a triple threat, just because of the way it's being built, and I just don't see. I don't know that you're accomplishing anything by them going a 7th match and actually having a definitive winner at this point. I feel like the outcome needs to be a triple threat match for the title.
Agreed.
Just mainly, and that's selfish because I want to fucking see that match happen. But anyways.
Anywho, we got AJ Styles promo. He is coming back. He's been gone for quite some time, I think, since Backlash,
yeah, I think so. Yeah, since Cody beat him, I don't think we've seen him since.
Yeah, so it's been a while. It's funny because I was literally just reading something online, going, "Where's AJ? He's healthy and he's not on the show. Why isn't he on the show?" Yeah. And then, sure enough, here comes a promo.
Speaking of which, that's why I put AJ up on the cage.
TNA
AJ. Yeah, that's old school AJ. But I put put him up there.
He's coming back, so where do you think he fits into what's going on?
I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know. I literally have no idea.
Like my gut says like into the US title picture as well, but he's already faced LA Knight at Mania, and then, we got a legitimate like feud brewing between the three. Like it would be weird to set him up with that. So, but yeah, I have no clue where he's gonna end up. But
yeah, I don't know. I literally don't have any idea because there's so much going on with Cody and the main title and the Bloodline and Roman and Orton and KO and just all of that it's like. And then what you just said with the IC, so I'm like, tag. Like, but who? Yeah, that's the thing too. So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see on that one.
Yeah, but excited to see him come back. He's an all-star. So
yeah, for sure. Real quick, we got a match between Michin and Piper Niven. Michin won the match. Cool. I'm not spending a whole lot of time on that, but the thing I wanted to point out with this was as Piper Niven was making her way to the ring, obviously being accompanied by Chelsea Green, Michael Cole referenced Chelsea Green as the WWE equivalent of the Chicago White Sox, which, for those of you who do not keep up with baseball, the Chicago White Sox this season are the worst team. They're about to like solidify themselves as the worst team in MLB history.
Yeah, they got the most losses record now.
History. So
And baseball is old.
Old as fuck. Yeah, I think it's probably the oldest
I think it's
sport
the oldest sport in America.
in America. Yeah, so super fucking old sport. Worst team in absolute history for baseball, and he compared Chelsea Green to the Chicago White Sox. That fucking cracked me up because I really like Chelsea Green's character. I think she's fantastic. So that just and Michael Cole, it was just everything just made me made me laugh. And then there was the one moment during the match where Michael Cole's like, Chelsea, get that, whatever, what is that? Get that away from me. It smells or it stinks. And she was like, you stink. It was just fucking, like, they're back and forth. Michael Cole is fucking gold. But anyways, I just wanted to point that out because it made me giggle a lot. So I really appreciated it.
It was super funny. That brings us to the main event of SmackDown, Bloodline. Like we talked about earlier, Solo and Jacob Fatu are going against KO and Randy Orton. I mean, it was your typical Bloodline getting involved in the match. Randy, previous to the match, had a little backstage segment with Cody trying to talk to KO. KO's like, I don't want to talk to you right now. We got a match to worry about. And then KO leaves. Randy's like, I'll talk to Kevin. I know he doesn't want you to come out, but you know how they are. If they come out, we need you to have our back. So, sure enough, the Tongans come out and get themselves involved. Cody comes rushing out, saving the day. But does he save the day? No, he does not.
Tries.
He gets thrown into the ring after KO is stunnered. Who was Tama, and he was going for the pin, and then Cody gets thrown into the ref, and so KO has had the 3, but no ref to count, and then KO gets taken out and takes the loss, and you could definitely feel the tension after the match that he was.
Well, yeah, because he. Oh no! I lied. Never mind. Orton RKO'd Tama.
Yeah.
Got Tama out. Then Orton got taken out. And then KO hit the stunner on Solo and was about to win. And then that's when all that happened. Yeah. My bad. It wasn't on Tama because KO had a potential 3 count, but the ref was out.
Yeah, that's right.
And then, that turned into fucking 2 brutal fucking super kicks from Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
And then, and ended up with the Bloodline getting the win. And we get a little animosity after the match.
Yeah, we do. We get a little KO shoving Cody away.
Randy getting in the middle, being like, yo, fucking chill. Like,
Randy calms him down. They hug it out. Definitely the drama is brewing.
Yeah, this is leading.
Yeah.
This is leading to something. But again, this is another situation where they're doing such a great job because I'm like, I don't know where it's leading to. Like, truly, I don't. There's going to be an implosion of some form. KO's going to turn heel.
Yeah.
I think that's a foregone conclusion. But when and where is that going to happen? I don't really know.
I'm almost getting the vibes that I know we've been talking about War Games coming up and it being new bloodline versus old bloodline, but it almost feels like we're getting Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Roman going against the new bloodline at War Games. That's what it's starting to feel like, and maybe that's where the implosion happens. But I don't know.
I'm also to go a completely another way on it.
Okay.
Which could lead to our original thought of the new bloodline versus the old bloodline, like a bloodline civil war, is what if the turn happens at Bad Blood?
Okay.
What if KO interferes and costs Roman and Cody the match? And then that starts a feud between KO and Cody and maybe even potentially Orton somehow being involved there. And then now that literally leaves Roman alone. Like, Roman doesn't have Cody now. He doesn't have anybody. So now he has to go recruit.
All right.
And now that's where Jimmy and Jay and potentially Sammy or even, what's his name? Not Zilla, but the other, fuck me. He has a crazy name that I don't remember how to pronounce. Anyways, there's another Bloodline member that is not on like the actual like main roster or even in NXT. Fuck, what is his goddamn name that's going to piss me off? I'll figure it out. But it'll pop back up randomly.
Want to Google it?
I do want to Google it. You tell him about next week, Timmy.
Well, while he's looking up that, next week, we get a triple threat ladder match for the tag titles. I did not, like, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I know they've been beating each other up, the New Bloodline and DIY and Street Profits. Yeah, the go-home show before Bad Blood, we get a triple threat ladder tag team title match. I'm excited for it, man. It just kind of, has these vibes of a TLC, like, built, like, I don't know. That's what it instantly thought of when they did the hype video for it. So I'm here for it.
No, yeah, for sure. Me too. And this was one that we talked before when we were kind of going over the show today. I was like, I didn't even know, like, I missed this promo for it. I didn't even know this was happening until I saw you put it on for today's episode. I was like, when the fuck did they announce that? I was watching it this morning with my daughter, so I'm taking care of an 11-month-old at the same time. So there's things I'm going to miss at certain points, but I'm surprised I somehow missed that. So I had no idea that was even happening. But when you told me, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm stoked for that. Street Profits, DIY, Bloodline, the Tama and Tonga that are I'm gonna again give Tonga his credit. He's gotten better.
He's coming along.
He hasn't done anything in the last few weeks that have made me go, like to have a Homer Simpson moment.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, no, man, I'm stoked. Bloodline member I was talking about, if I'm pronouncing the name right, is Hikuleo.
Okay.
He is the brother of Tama and Tonga.
Okay.
So he was part of AGPW, I think, or... Sorry, NJPW, New Japan. And yeah, so I've read a lot of stuff that he's potentially going to be maybe making a debut in WWE sometime soon. So that would be an interesting. Yeah. So, but anyways, just going back to the Bloodline thing, like that would be another way for it to potentially go is like, because at some point I feel like they got to pull Cody out of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And like that, I feel like that would be the way to do it, would be to have KO turn. And now you actually get like a legit feud now between KO and Cody, as opposed to the true face versus face that we already got. So,
dude, I want your idea to come true because I do want the Civil War to happen.
I want the Civil War to happen because we're going to fucking be there.
And we're going to be there.
I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I want it to take place.
Yeah. Banger of the week. What do you got, Ryan?
Fuck. Oh man, I gotta go Jay winning the IC. I don't know. It was either that or it was Carmelo and Andrade 6 because it was such a good match. But Jay winning his first gold, man.
Yeah,
singles gold. That was and just the way it happened too. Like it was just such a well done match. The match itself was fucking great between the two, and then just the ending of it and everything. The way it all just played out was just fantastic. Then. It had kind of a callback to like when Eddie won and he went into the crowd, right? Like you had Jay go up the stand of the stairs where he usually comes from, and sits with the crowd, right, with the title. Like it was just such a cool thing. So that's mine.
I want to give the whole week of wrestling a banger of the week because
I thought about that
this
too.
This week in wrestling was just amazing. But I'm gonna go with the specific moment, Joe Tessitore calling like just how excited he was, and then Jay getting the win. Yeah. It was the perfect combination.
And that was definitely, I mean, he's great on commentary, and he has been since the fucking first day that he was on Raw. But that was like
that was him coming into it.
Exactly. That was like his moment where, it was like the classic calls, the classic Michael Cole calls, the classic JR calls, like you said. So it was that's the one that will be like remembered.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. So banger of the week in the books.
Hell yeah. All right. You got a game for me.
I got another game for you. I had so much fun with last week's
This one caught me off guard because I didn't expect this. And I saw it. I was like, oh, fuck. Okay.
I
have no idea what this is.
Saw this reel on social media, and it inspired me to have it against you. So we're gonna play a rankum game where I'm gonna give you 5 wrestlers.
Oh fuck!
And you gotta rank them in 1 through 5. And I'm gonna put them in different order. So you gotta think very carefully when you rank them.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, what am I ranking though? 1 through 5 for what?
Just like greatest of all time, or who's the best, who's the least best in the 5.
Okay.
But I'm not going to put them in any particular order.
Am I trying to guess your order? Or
no, you're going to rank them how you feel, and then afterwards you're going to go, I'm going to say, how do you think of your ranking?
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
You get it?
Sure. Let's go.
All right. First wrestler, Randy Orton.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Fuck me. Okay. You're just giving me one at a time, and I have to place them on a scale of 1 to 5.
Yep.
And then you're going to give me like fucking Hornswoggle last, and all I'm going to have left is 1 or some shit like that. Fuck! Okay. Yeah, I've seen these where they like click the thing and it scrolls.
Yep.
God damn it. Okay. Fuck. Orton got 2.
Okay. All right.
Oh, no. Do you have 5 wrestlers like in your mind that you already were coming into this with, or you were literally just?
No, I got 5.
Okay.
Yep. All right, we got Cody Rhodes.
Fuck. 4.
Ooh. Roman Reigns.
Oh man, this is gonna be fucked. 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did it. You heard me. I said what I said. No, and if you give me Hornswoggle, I'm gonna kick your dick off.
Dirty Dom.
Fuck me. God damn it, Tim. You son of a bitch. Well, I don't have a choice. That has to go 3. What the fuck's the last goddamn wrestler? What are you gonna make me put at 1?
Seth Rollins.
Okay, that's not terrible. I'll go 1 there, yeah. Fuck. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel good about it. I definitely don't.
You got Dirty Dom above Cody and Roman?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. I should have been better. I should have thought better about that. In my defense of my ranking there, I didn't think you were going to throw Dirty Dom into the fucking mix. I thought you were going to give me like 5 actual legit names. Yeah, if I had to run that back, out of those 5, I'd put Orton 1.
All right.
I'd probably go Orton, Cody, Seth, Roman, Dom.
Okay.
And I know when I said where Roman was, you were like, what the fuck? Because he is like the biggest star, whatever. He's been the face of the company for years now. But he is, as an in-ring performer, I don't think he can strap the boots of the other 3.
No, but I think he just brings that theatrics. Like,
he brings the theatrics.
He brings a big feel.
He has been built up by the people in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Oh, yeah.
Very well. Where, like, a guy like Cody pretty much fucking did it himself. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, he literally had to leave and create a fucking new company to get to where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Seth is just fucking naturally really fucking like Seth Rollins is like the current day's Shawn Michaels type of guy in the ring.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Orton's just arguably one of the best to ever do it.
For sure.
So I feel very comfortable re-ranking them, putting Orton at 1 over everybody else on the list.
The real I saw was Gunther having to play this game, and he put Randy number 1, he put Dom at number 5, and he ended up having to put himself at number 3. But it was pretty cool. So
I like that one.
Fun little game.
Yeah, I like that game, and that's a good one because we could do that. For Blockbusters too,
or Blockbusters,
for actors or movies or shows, or you know what I mean. Like that's an endless opportunity to keep doing that game. So I like that. We're gonna have to come back to that one. That was solid. Belts question of the week. I pose this to you. We have a picture up for ourselves. We will actually. My plan is to post this picture on social media after the episode drops and see if we could get any responses to see what other people's thoughts about it would potentially be. I wanted to ask what your favorite iteration of Kane's character is. And I want your top 3,
Okay.
but I want us to go lowest to highest of the top 3. So what's your third, second, then first, and we'll kind of bounce back and forth.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to go...
And it doesn't necessarily, I just have the picture up more as reference for us. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, you don't have to be like, it's going to be that pic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to like pinpoint which picture it is. But the picture that we have up is a 4x4 grid, or sorry, a 5x4 grid. So 20 different pictures of Kane's character evolution over the course of his career. So there's like the different, iterations of the originally masked Kane all the way up to the partial masked Kane, the no mask Kane, and then the rebirth of the masked Kane for the last few years. So
the only one missing is Corporate Kane on there.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, Corporate Kane is not on there.
Yeah. Oh well.
But anyways, yeah.
So are we going back and forth, or
I think we go back and forth.
Okay.
I think we bounce back and forth. I got my phone just because I can.
Perfect.
No,
I'm going to go with 2010 Kane, no mask, when he won the World Heavyweight Championship. I think it was a long time overdue. Dude's a monster, great in the ring, and kind of what we've been talking about with Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. He's just a big dude doing high-flying things in the ring. So really was excited for him to win the title. He was a pretty big heel back in that time. So that's what I got for number 3.
All right, awesome. My number 3, I'm going with 2000 Kane, specifically when he returned and saved Taker and The Rock.
Okay, yeah.
To close out that Raw was fucking like that's one of my probably best memories of watching the Attitude Era wrestling was then. Like The Rock and Taker are just getting beat down by the regime at that point. I mean, it's like, fucking 15-on-2 just getting their asses kicked, and then Kane comes out and just fucking cleans house, man. It was great. And just like I loved the outfit and everything. That's my 3.
All right.
What's 2?
Number 2 is the 97 Kane, the debut Kane. He was just quiet, stoic. You hit him with a move, he wasn't falling down. He was no-selling the shit out of every move, and it was awesome. He was a monster, and our first glimpse into the big red monster.
Yeah.
So that's number 2 for me.
Number 2 for me is also debut Kane.
All right.
So, yeah. I mean, it's like, how the fuck could that not be in your top 3 for sure? And it was close for me to putting that at number 1 because it was like, that's the birth of Kane, of the character of Kane. So, like, everything that we got since then stemmed from that. And, I mean, it was just the fucking Hell in a Cell ripping the door off. Like, everything was just fucking, it was so well done. And then the whole, this is his brother, like, and that whole storyline that they held, and it was great. Everything about it was awesome. So yeah, that was definitely like A+, which doesn't happen that often in wrestling when it's an A+ for a character's debut, especially a character like that. That is like drawn up and written straight out of a comic book.
Yeah,
So anyway, yeah.
The only reason I didn't rank it number 1 is because they didn't make it last very long. I think that that character could have gone on for years and years, but they quickly moved him out of not being this quiet guy and starting to get moves done to him anyway. So number 1 is going to be, I think it was 2003 when the mask comes off and guy turned like demented afterwards, and I think for so long like we were just what's underneath the mask, and finally we get the reveal, and he had a lot of crazy ass storylines right out the gate, setting JR on fire. He was throwing people off stages. He was getting brought to the ring in chains and the towel over his head. So I think that was my favorite time with Kane.
Okay. I went Invasion Kane.
Okay.
So it was like Brothers of Destruction with Badass Taker, which wasn't the first time that we got the Brothers of Destruction technically, because we definitely got them like during the regime, that whole thing. But this was like a different feel
Mhm.
And I liked this because almost the opposite of the debut Kane, because like there is backstage antics going on in a lot of video promos where like you actually got a little bit of like comedic relief involving Kane without him even fucking saying anything.
Yeah.
It's like you got like Stone Cold fucking saying just some funny ass shit, trying to make them break him and Taker break character. And it was just like how they just sat there was just so fucking funny. So like I think it was like great, but then it was also like you turn around and that was when he looked like the biggest, most badass that he ever was.
I would agree with that.
In the picture. It's like it's the second row down, first two pictures on the left.
Yeah.
Or that same time frame, and that's what I was saying earlier was the picture that I'm thinking of. The mask was more red than either of those two pictures, but that was the only time he wore that outfit.
Gotcha.
Was during those 2 years or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my number one, just because there's a lot of my really good memories with wrestling that come from the ECW, WCW invasion.
Yeah, for sure.
It was just one of the. I mean, that was like the kind of almost the finale of the Attitude Era too. Almost, because it was shortly after. It was like within the next year where it went to the Ruthless Aggression. So,
good question.
And that brings us to Blockbusters. Thunderbolts, dog. Thunderbolts dropped a new trailer.
Hell yeah, man! I really digged it. It was definitely got a like Suicide Squad vibes going on with it.
For sure.
Really enjoyed the trailer for the Suicide Squad movie. I enjoyed the movies, but I know they got a little panned on. But that's kind of what the vibes I got from this trailer. I really liked the Pixies song playing in the background of this. It was just really fitting to it. And the humor right at the beginning. That was the DoorDash.
Oh shit! Start throwing things, trying to clean up real quick as she gets it. Yeah, it was great.
It was a good trailer. I don't think they gave away too much.
Not at all, which is awesome.
But got me asking questions. What's going on with Bucky? Is he brainwashed
for
again,
sure? For sure. Well, because there's like parts of the trailer where you see him working with them, but then there's the one specific spot of the trailer where like, oh, that's not good, and he like shoots their car with a fucking rocket launcher, grenade launcher, or whatever. So yeah, definitely has you wondering like what's going on there. Also, definitely makes you just kind of wonder like about Pullman.
Sentry?
Yeah. I forget the actor's name. Lewis Pullman. Lewis Pullman's character is just like exactly what he's going to look like. And everything. Because I really always saw was him in like a fucking hospital gown. Like, who sent you? Nobody sent me. Like, it was cool. I like that little comedic relief there too and whatnot that they're already kind of playing into it. So, yeah, man, I was stoked for it. I have very little knowledge about this group in the comics or anything. So, I'm going into this just like fresh as a baby, and
Same here.
I'm not researching it. Nothing. I just want to watch this movie without really knowing anything about it and just take it for what it is, and hopefully have a good experience with it. So, I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah, man. It looks like it's just gonna have the right amount of action, the right amount of comedy in this one. So,
for sure. You sent me this one.
Yeah. Woman of the Hour. This is Anna Kendrick's directorial debut. It's a thriller horror movie. The synopsis is Cheryl Bradshaw, a single woman looking for a suitor on a hit 1970s TV show, chooses charming bachelor Rodney Alcala, unaware that behind the man's gentle facade, he hides a deadly secret. It's going to be released on Netflix October 18th. The trailer looks awesome, or teaser for what it was.
Them just sitting in the bar.
Just like definitely uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah.
But when they are in like the parking lot street part, and when when he asked for the phone
Hey,
number.
can you tell me your phone number? I just gave it to you, and then you realize that it's like she definitely gave him a fake number.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it was I felt like my heart throb, like I got chills in that scene. It was just like, oh shit, it's about to go down.
Well, and then she just like quietly turns and just starts walking, and then like the camera angle is her walking like from a distance across the parking lot, and then you see him another fucking 40 yards past her, like behind her, kind of trailing. Yeah, it was just like, whew, all right. So
this is one based on a true story. So those ones I'm here for.
Yes,
I love those
absolutely.
movies. So
and I love Anna Kendrick. She has always been like since I first saw her. She's always in fucking Twilight. Yeah. Right. Like she's been one of just like anytime she's in something, I'm like I'll fucking watch it because she's goofy. Like she's like that adorable goofy. Yeah. Cool girl type vibe where it's just like I'll fucking watch anything you're in because you're just like entertaining and fun to watch, you know.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm stoked for that. It's going to be great. Tim, you also threw this on here. This is absolute news to me when I saw this morning. So I'm going to let you cover this.
Well, about a week ago, news was breaking out that there's potentially or a good chance that there's going to be a Scream spinoff with Special Agent Kirby Reed from Scream. And the focus is going to be on Kirby. Kevin Williamson is going to be a producer on this. It's said to be a movie, but could easily see it being a show as well. Okay. But other than that, there's no other big details about it other than just saying that she is a survivor of the most violent Ghostface situation, you know, where he was attacking Woodsboro at the time in Scream 4. Yeah. She made the appearance in Scream 6 again. Mm-hmm. She became part of the FBI, and that's where it's going to be focused on, is her time in the FBI. So curious to see where it could go.
Yeah. So like, do you think it's a Kirby focus, but do you think it still plays into Ghostface, or is it going to be like covering completely other stuff, do you think?
I'm hoping it does. I hope it. I mean, like I said, it really has no other details that other than what I just said. But I'm hoping that it does focus on Ghostface or her looking into Ghostface.
You know, it would be a really cool kind of way for them to go about it. Would be if they had made it more like a true crime type show, where it was like the first season is her like she's put on this case of like these unsolved murders. And as she's like going through the cases and more bodies start piling up type thing, like she starts to recognize like similarities between things that she is seeing and things that she has experienced. And then she starts to put it together and then it ends up being like, there's a new Ghostface or something like that is like the killer. And then that's how season 1 ends, is like with that reveal. That would be fucking awesome.
That'd be cool. I was also thinking of maybe like tying it into the MTV TV show.
Oh, that would be fucking interesting.
Tying them into the Scream world, because I know they're off based. You know, they're not tied to Scream. Just has the name. So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Either of those, both of them. Fuck it.
I'm excited to see Scream branch off. I love the franchise, as you know, it's my favorite. Yeah. So seeing that happen, I love Kirby Reed. So excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a little bit more information on Happy Gilmore 2, a little more casting news, which kind of blends our worlds on the podcast together. But we got MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Freeman.
Yes, he has been cast in Happy Gilmore 2, and none other than one of Happy's sons.
Oh, okay.
I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, I could be off, and I don't have it in front of me, but I think the character's name was like Gordy, or it's something kind of like that. Excuse me. But yeah, so that was just, I thought that was interesting and worth noting. Last time we talked about this, you had, mentioned that Julie Bowen is back as Virginia, and that Happy and Virginia are
Still together.
So this is obviously one of their two kids, or one of their kids. I guess I read two. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but yeah, MJF was cast as one of their children. So that will be. The whole thing's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, I mean MJF is hilarious, and so I think that's a good tie-in for him. Sinners. It's funny you saw the trailer as watching SmackDown. I just caught it on Facebook, and I sent you the trailer right away. I was like, dude, this looks sick. And so synopsis of this is trying to leave their troubled lives behind. Twin brothers Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, return to their hometown to start again, only to discover that an even greater evil is waiting to welcome them back. Again, stars Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld, and Jack O'Connell. This is directed by Ryan Coogler, who directed the Creed movies and the Black Panther movies, and got a release date of March 7th, 2025. Just watching the trailer, it kind of gave me the Crazies vibe to it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really good reference for sure, I think.
I don't know. It seems like it's more like satanic, demonic, or spiritual what's happening, but that's what the vibe I got from it.
Where it's like they return home and there's some fucking weird shit going on or whatever. The whole fucking trailer was like kind of have you on the edge type of trailer. Like you're like, what the fuck is going on? You know, so and Michael B. Jordan is great. I'm fucking yawning like a motherfucker. I'm sorry. We went and saw Lainey Wilson last night, so we got home late and then we're up early, so I'm tired. But anyway, I'm really excited for this movie. I saw it again, like I said, for the first time. Like I think that was the same for you, right? Like you just saw it and sent it to me, and I had literally like just seen it popped up as like an ad while I was watching the recording of SmackDown. So I don't know if it was actually a trailer that was played during SmackDown or if it was just like an ad that the recording plays or whatever. But it popped up while I was watching SmackDown. And I was just like, oh, that's interesting. And then it was like 40 minutes later, I checked my phone and I have a message from you on Facebook. You know, dude, check this out. I was like, oh, fuck, I just saw this. I was like, yeah, no, that's crazy. So I was like, definitely got to put it on this. We got to talk about it because, it looks... it
looks good. It looks
really good. It looks creepy. It looks really intense. And again, Michael B. Jordan is great. Haley Steinfeld's great. Jack O'Connell's really good. Like, I'm
the closing scene with Michael B. Jordan holding up the machine gun is just going to town crazy.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck are you shooting?
Yes, exactly.
Because that's like a fucking goddamn cake magazine too. The full round, like, and he's fucking jacked too. Like that's that fucking shot. His triceps. You're just like, good lord, your triceps are the size of my head, and I have a big noggin. But yeah,
look
man.
Away.
Yeah. Excited for that. I read this morning. We got a little update of the agreement between Sony and Marvel. Obviously, a lot of stuff that we talked about on here is Marvel related. But yeah, so I thought this was really interesting. I think it opens doors for the MCU and kind of related to some of the stuff that we've talked about recently on a couple episodes. So it says that the agreement update is that Sony must notify Marvel of any usage of a villain, prior, like planning ahead of time that they're using, like planning to use that villain. And then once they notify Marvel is not allowed to use that character until 30 days after the movie that they were notified about that has that character hits VOD.
Cool.
So I think what that does is, so say Marvel or Sony is going to do a movie, say like Kraven the Hunter, right? Like the movie's about to come out, or did it already?
No, it's about to
about to come out. So Kraven the Hunter, when they first decided, so like say if this agreement was in place then, when they first decided they were going to make this Kraven the Hunter movie, Sony would have to notify Marvel that they're going to use Kraven the Hunter. Once they've made that notification, then Marvel cannot use Kraven the Hunter until 30 days after the Kraven the Hunter movie comes out on video on demand. So
is that just if? I'm sure you don't know all the details of it, but
I was in the room.
can they film a movie with it, but just not release it until that time frame has been met, or they can literally not use that character until?
That's a good question. I don't know. Yeah, so there's that's already one of, I'm sure, many unknowns about this so far. If MCU has to actually wait, I wonder. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. I wonder if it would be that they like straight up can't use the character in any form because say they do film, but then like leaks happen.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know what I mean? So like I would be surprised. I'm sure Sony would cover their bases there. So I wouldn't be surprised they like straight up just they can have nothing to do with the character until 30 days after. But what that does, like I said, is I think that opens doors because now you have Venom: The Last Dance coming out. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man 4 is not expected to come out until fucking like 2026, 2027 probably. It's going to be between Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's going to be well after Venom: The Last Dance hits VOD. So like you're talking about the potential for the MCU to maybe bring Venom into the MCU now, whether it's Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock or a completely different variant of the character. But regardless, like that's the type of stuff that you're now like potentially able to have happen is Marvel start to use some of those characters once they're past that kind of expiration date, if you will.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like about it, and it's of course on Sony's side because I feel like they're just screw ups, but like, don't you want MCU to use your characters to like get excitement behind your movies?
Yeah. Right? That's what I thought too.
Why not just promote it? This character's going to show up down the line. Watch this movie so you can learn about him. Like,
yeah.
That just... You're making money right there.
Yeah, I know. And it's like...
just lean into
instead of doing an agreement like this, like, why don't you guys just fucking... Just...
team up.
You know? Just fucking... Let's go. Consummate this shit.
But anyway,
just let the MCU run with the characters that they should be running with.
I guess the only exciting thing is they agreed to something for once, and so that allows them to use the characters down the line.
Yeah.
So that's a positive.
Yes, absolutely. Moving on, we are going to start doing something new, and it's on a kind of sadder note, but it is also in like complete honor of these individuals. But we want to start doing a Triple B Memoriam toast to actors or actresses that have or directors or whatever, like big names that we know that have had, you know, any form of impact on either of us that have passed away.
Yeah.
And honestly, we'll probably do this on the wrestling side of things as well.
Agreed.
Just when it is appropriate to do, obviously. So, unfortunately and sadly, we had Dame Maggie Smith pass away yesterday, September 27th, at the age of 89. It was her sons posted that she passed away peacefully at the hospital. So, it wasn't, you know, it doesn't sound like it was anything like she was they probably saw it coming type thing. It
wasn't really a surprise.
I know she had been like, I want to say might have been the Half-Blood Prince or Deathly Hallows Part 1. She was diagnosed with cancer. Mm-hmm. So like she had been battling cancer for years, but dude, what a fucking badass of an actress. Yes. Like for real. 2-time Academy Award winner. For movies that were back in like the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
And then like that's just to start. That's not even like talking about the amount of shit that she had been in since that was just iconic. But probably especially in the latter part of her career is probably the most known for playing Professor McGonagall in the Harry Potter series. Just badass Professor McGonagall. One of my favorite lines from the entire Harry Potter franchise is during Deathly Hallows Part 2, right when they're like Voldemort and his whole crew were like getting ready to attack Hogwarts, and all the good wizards, they cast the spell to like put up the barrier, and she says the one spell, and all of the statues, like the big giant knight statues, drop down. And then she looks at Miss Weasley and she goes, I've always wanted to use that spell. It's just like, that's fucking awesome, because that just like, it's like a very childlike, like, she's known about the spell since she was young, and she's always wanted to use it. She obviously never got the chance to, and now she gets to, and it's just like, that's like the kid in everybody that, you know.
Yeah.
So, and she also, in the latter, like last few years specifically, she was in is it Downton Abbey? Yeah. So Downton Abbey. Yeah, dude, just a fucking great actress, just phenomenal.
Hell yeah. Professor McGonagall.
Hell yeah, man.
Well, cheers, man. 300 points, Gryffindor.
Hell yeah. All right.
That brings us to Block Buzzin'.
Block Buzzin'. This is our second round.
This is our second round of Block Buzzin', and our movie of choice for this round was Longlegs. It was a thriller horror movie that released during the summertime. We talked about it. We watched the trailer.
We watched the trailer
live on the podcast, and they were comparing it, or critics were comparing it to it's the next Silence of the Lambs, and had some big words to throw into there.
Yes, and, absolutely. That is some large shoes to fill for sure.
Absolutely. So there was a lot of buzz coming around when this movie came out in theaters, and we'll get into that, what we thought about the movie.
Yeah, for sure. So the synopsis of the movie is FBI agent Lee Harker is a gifted new recruit assigned to the unsolved case of an elusive serial killer. As a case takes a complex turn, unearthing evidence of the occult, Harker discovers a personal connection to the merciless killer and must race against time to stop him before he claims the lives of another innocent family. Movie stars, I think it's Micah, I think is how you pronounce it. Micah Monroe. She is Lee Harker. Nicolas Cage and Blair Underwood. Blair Underwood plays Lee Harker's superior agent in the FBI. And Nicolas Cage plays Longlegs.
Yes.
Nicolas Cage is the serial killer Longlegs. Fucking A. Rotten Tomatoes, man. Critic score, 85%.
Yeah, certified fresh.
Yes, absolutely. Fan score, 60%. We'll talk about kind of our comparison to it and everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, dude, what'd you think?
Dude, just creepy. It's just like, I was fully into the movie. I was just like, there was no distraction to be had. Phone was down. And just zoned into the movie. I got taken out a couple times just by Nicolas Cage's act. Like, some of his like screaming just kind of remind me of previous roles where I kind of laughed a little bit. But overall, dude, the movie I thought was really good. It was not your typical serial killer movie. At first it felt like it was, and then it took a turn, and then I was like, damn. Yeah, I had a overwhelming creepiness over me throughout the whole movie. Yeah. The filming was really beautifully done. It definitely was different than anything I've seen. It had like this dark overcast the whole time of the movie, so no happy feelings really coming from this movie.
Yeah, no, not at all. Big shoes to fill, like we said with the comparison. Mm-hmm. But that's the only thing I can compare it to.
Yeah.
Is Silence of the Lambs. It's the only movie that I can think of that has that similar fucking feel to it. And a somewhat similar premise in a way too, right? Where it's new female FBI recruiter, young, early in the career type thing, gets called on this big case type of idea, right? Mm-hmm. It was creepy as an under fucking statement of this movie, man. Nicolas Cage in this I thought was pure like legit Oscar worthy
Yeah.
performance. Like if this movie is not talked about when that time comes around, I would be shocked. It was so good. And I'm usually pretty good at being like, okay, I can see where this is going, you know, and like kind of be able to recognize things that might be happening in movies. And I thought I had it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't at all. Complete swerve. But like the opening scene, right? Literally the opening scene of the movie, I was like, oh, okay. Like I knew who that was.
Mm.
That was kind of where I was at.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew the connection but then I didn't. Far from it. Did not expect it at all. So I was like, holy fuck. And then obviously we're doing all this spoiler free. We don't want to give anything away because like this is a movie you should go fucking see. You bought it.
Yeah, I bought it.
I just rented it. But definitely worth checking out. Whether you rent it like I did for the $17 or whatever, you bought it for it's probably close to 30 or whatever. Like
24.
Like 24 but yeah, like did you buy it on demand or did you order the actual hard copy?
Physical copy.
Yeah. But regardless of how much it costs you, go watch this movie. It's fucking amazing. But the whole final however long, it's probably potentially like 20 minutes maybe of the movie, was just just complete utter shock of what took place right before that happened. Mm-hmm. I guess if you're catching what I'm saying.
I definitely.
Which I think is why it felt like it was such a comparison to Silence of the Lambs for me, because you only see Silence of the Lambs, right? You only see the character of Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins' character, in the prison, right? Mm-hmm. Like in Silence of the Lambs, you never see him out, and you only see those interactions in that way, right? And it's not the same,
no,
but there are similarities in that vein where it was just like, fuck, dude. But like you said, the filming of it was done. It was amazing. Mm-hmm. The way it was filmed for this movie. Yeah. Like there are other movies that you could try to film that same way, and I don't think it would come off as good. Yeah. Because it was filmed. It was kind of weird, honestly. It was kind of a weird filming and camera angles and just like the shots and stuff. It was like, what the fuck is going on? But then it also added to the uneasy feeling that you had while watching the fucking movie.
I definitely had an uneasiness after watching the movie. Like I'm not one to, like I get scared during the movie, and then once it's off, it's like I'm done being scared. But I kind of have this still uneasy feeling after watching the movie, which is telling to a movie and what it can do. So
this is one where I'm like, I want to get the actual physical copy, and just purely to bring up when we go hunting in a couple of weeks. Because I know Jason and Nick, their whole, like, every time they go hunting, like, because they'll do like, 2 nights out, like kind of like backpacking idea, but then they'll come back to like the trailer and stay a night to kind of resupply and re-energize and get a good night's sleep and stuff before they go back out. Mm-hmm. And I know that usually when they do that and they're in the camper, they're watching horror movies. Yeah. So I'm like, this one I want to get, because I doubt any of them have seen it, and Nathan's going too. So it would be a good one to have us all watch up there. So
perfect.
Well, fan score is only 60%.
I know.
That's way lower than what I would give it. I'm right up there with the critic score. Yeah. 85 to 90%. Like this it was good. It was great. Like
I would give it a 90%. Yeah. If I was rating it.
Yeah. It hit almost every single box that I could ask for in a movie like this. Mm-hmm. So it was fantastic.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It was awesome. So, yeah, man, that's round 2 of Block Buzzing.
Good choice.
And I think
Good
it was a
choice.
good fucking. As soon as I was like, oh, this is the week we're dude, I texted you. I was like, we have to fucking do Long Legs. It's out. We can watch this now. We need to do this movie because we talked about it so much. We watched this, the only movie we've watched a trailer live on the show for. So, yeah, dude. Here we go.
Blockbusters question of the week. I posed this for you.
Yes, you did.
It's a 2-parter. You can list multiple if you want to, but I'm doing one.
I'm doing one per.
Okay, so
I'm not doing runner-ups or nothing. I already know them.
So
Hit me.
Movie or show. What movie or show did you have low expectations for, but were just pleasantly surprised, and it ended up being really good? And then the opposite. What movie show did you have high expectations for, but was disappointed in?
All right. So, start with the first one. Low expectations, but ended up being really good. When I first moved over to the west side from Cleellum, I was working for my brother, living with my cousin, and I was literally waking up, going to work in construction for 10 hours, coming home, hanging out with my dog, and watching shows. And so, as that happens over the course of almost 2 years, you start to run out of things to fucking watch. And so I was like always just constantly like scrolling through Netflix, especially then, because at that point it was like Netflix and Hulu were like the only 2 actual legit streaming services that you could have. I only had Netflix. So I'm just like scrolling through Netflix trying to find new shows to watch and shit. And that was also at the time where it was like Netflix had everything. Like Netflix had Scrubs, How I Met Your Mother, The Office, Friends, like New Girl, like all of them.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to watch new stuff too. And so there was this one show that I came across, and you know how like when you like just scrolling through and you stop on something, you hover over it, it like shows the trailer. Yeah. And I was watching this and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, well, this is kind of interesting. But I was like, it doesn't really look like it's necessarily the best acting. But I was like, I'll fucking try it. And the show is called The 100.
Okay.
Do you know that show?
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
So premise of the premise of the show is Earth became uninhabitable, or was deemed to be uninhabitable. And, a group of, a population, I shouldn't say a group, a population of people hopped on, I think they were called the like arcs. They were like these like ring, almost like Halo. Right?
Okay.
Like this like ring space colony.
Mm-hmm.
To essentially live and thrive as a civilization until they can either find a new habitable planet, or until Earth is okay. So things happen. They end up realizing that they're like running out of like they're essentially doomed. Like they have a time limit, an expiration date, if you will, for this arc that they're on lasting. Because all the supplies and stuff they have, they're running out. So what they do is and because of the limited supplies and stuff, they had like even like the smallest of crimes, like petty theft, you were sentenced to death, unless you were underage. If you were under the age of 18, you were essentially like a prisoner slave that just did a bunch of like work around the place until you became old enough to then be sent to be killed, to be executed. And the way they would execute you is they would put you in like the fucking like the airlock area.
Oh, okay.
And then they would open the external doors and just send you out into space. And so what they did when they realized that this was happening and that they had an expiration date, they sent all of the juveniles that they had that were all going to be killed anyways down to Earth to see if Earth was habitable.
Okay.
That's pretty much the premise of the show.
Yeah.
And I think there were 6 seasons of it. Oh, I want to say it was over 10 episodes a season, maybe, and they're like hour-long episodes. Like, it was a good watch, and I think all but like 1 season were out when I first started watching it. So like, I was able to like full-blown just binge watch it up until the final season came out.
Yeah.
And like shit got wild in this show, but it was fucking good. Like, it was really, really good. I would definitely recommend the watch for it. It was a really good show.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's the one that I'm going with for low expectations. Do you want to do yours, or do you want me to do the next one, too?
Let me do mine. Yeah. I got two. Sorry.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
But I won't go into great detail like you did. I got my first one is The Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, dude.
It was a WWE movie. I think The Marine came out before it, and so that it was one of the first few movies into the WWE films.
Yeah.
So after seeing The Marine, I didn't have a big expectations for The Condemned. I mean, it looked good from the commercials, but I was like, it's probably going to be corny, just like The Marine was. But it wasn't. It was a pretty darn cool movie, and I know Haley likes it, and she brings it up every once in a while. But the movie really stuck out to me. The other one I got is Don't Breathe. It's it just looked like it looked cool again from the previews, but it was just like, okay, it's just an old guy.
So that's the blind dude, right?
Yeah, the blind guy.
Yeah, they break into his house. Yeah.
But shit goes haywire. That movie was...
That's an understatement, Tim.
That was an awesome movie.
It was awesome. Yeah, that was really fucking good. Yeah.
It is really good. So, yeah, those are my two low expectations, but exceeded.
Second question was movie or show that you had high expectations for, but was essentially disappointed in. I'm going with Southland Tales.
Okay.
Sean William Scott, The Rock, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Amy Poehler's in it. There's a handful of other people that I just can't remember off the top of my head that are like, oh, like you would think this should be a good kind of sci-fi comedy movie. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was fucking terrible. like I turned it off in the middle, and then I had to come back at another time to finish the movie because I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? It didn't make sense to me. It was very disappointing to me. Did I say The Rock when I was naming off the people?
Yeah.
Okay, I did. Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, so like star-studded.
That was like a dystopian movie, right?
Yeah. It was weird. It was just, I don't know. It didn't hit for me. And this was after. Oh, really? And this was after like The Rundown.
Yeah.
Where like I fucking love that movie. So I was like, oh fuck yeah, another Sean William Scott Rock movie. Let's go. And I was like, and Sarah Michelle Gellar, like she's fucking hot. Let's do this thing. And yeah, it was just an utter disappointment for me. So that was literally the first, when I read that, I was like, I know it. So that's why when I was just like, what the fuck was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. That was the first thing that popped in my head when I read the question. But anyways, yeah.
That's a good one. Both movies are show and movie that I haven't seen. So
okay. Well, watch both of them, honestly. Yeah. Like, even though I didn't like the one, watch it. You might like it. And if not, we'll have something to talk about. Either way.
Well, I got two for this one as well.
Oh, you motherfucker.
First one is Gemini Man with Will Smith.
Oh, yeah. That's like where the with the younger version of himself and everything. Yeah.
That movie looked so sick in
the trailers and everything.
And then
it was a total letdown.
It was a huge letdown. I don't know, nothing about it really screamed good. Like it was bad. And then the other one, and this one is like my go-to movie where I'm just like, I don't hate a lot of movies. I really don't dislike a lot of movies, but this one I do not like. And it's Jupiter Ascending.
Oh, dude, that was
Channing Tatum and Mila Kunis.
Yeah, that was another one.
I think Tom Hiddleston might have been, or one of them.
Yeah.
Anyways, it had again star-studded cast. The previews looked pretty good for it, and
complete letdown.
Just hated the movie.
Yeah,
that is like legit.
Yeah,
I do not like that movie.
That was another one that was high up on my list for this as well. And oddly enough, I had another one that also had Will Smith in it. Oh. And I forget. I can't remember. Like, I did not like this movie so much. I can't remember what the name of the fucking movie is. But it's the one. It was with him and Jaden, and they
After Earth.
Yeah, After Earth. That was fucking awful. It was not
I haven't
good.
Seen that movie.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Things about that one
too.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Well,
All right, man. Episode 17.
episode 17 in the books. Cheers, brother.
Let's fucking